Hello, everybody, and welcome into Critical Hits. Today, we're going to be interviewing the champions of the NJCAA Rocket League from HV GamerCon a few weeks ago. From Lackawanna College, we have Daniel Bashi, Coach Diggs, Keenan Lewis, he's a junior, and Dominic Clapper, sophomore. First of all, guys, congratulations on your win, and welcome into the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So, guys, I want to jump right in. So, what happened there? Why are you guys so good? That 16 team bracket, you guys were dominating 12-0 on the count. How did that happen, guys? Seriously, we want to know. We want those techniques. Let's get those inside details, those performance enhancing tips. How did you guys pull this off?
I don't know. You want to talk about it, Keenan?
I mean,
How
I
are you
could talk
feeling?
about it, but I feel like we could have never got as far as we did if we didn't have Diggs, because before any of, like, as good as we are now, it wouldn't have been possible without Diggs. He taught us rotation. He taught us how to hit the ball. He taught us how to rotate properly. It's all little things. So what little things do you want to know?
Man, I just want to know how you guys get so consistent with those midfield passes. That is like the backbone of the game. I want to know how is that? How does the practice work? How do you guys get that in game? Like, what does it look like for you guys when you're practicing and when you're performing out there? How do you know what to do and how do you get that level of play onto the actual field there?
I guess it helps that these guys are kind of all really good friends to begin with. Like Keenan, Dom, and our other guy Matt. They've been playing together for maybe, I don't know, a year or so. Because Matt was a recruit, so we kind of had him ready to go, and he's been playing with us for like a year and a half. He was kind of planning on going here, but he wasn't sure. But we kept him in our practices. And basically, Dom and I are longtime soccer players, so we already know like just the ideas that passing is going to get you wins. You know, you can take solo plays, you can take shots, you can do that all day. But our biggest focus has been passing from the get-go. Like we do passing drills. We go into private matches and we only hit the ball around to each other and just keep hitting it, one touch, two touch, whatever you got to do. And it really has like helped our just team chemistry build up a lot. And then plus these guys hang out outside of the game too, and they'll have fun. And I think Dom and Matt just went to see a movie together. So
You guys don't have to say, like, very specific. You guys mentioned, like, strategies and practicing, and, like, obviously that's up to you guys, and you guys work on that privately. But
anybody can do it.
what's a little bit of, like, your, weekly schedule for practicing or scrimmages or matches? Like, take us through, like, the week of a player, and Diggs, you can hop in there. Same perspective from you as a coach.
Let us know, Dom. What do you?
So typically practice nights are Monday, Wednesday from like 6 to 8. That's like the set time, but typically we play every single day. We have matches on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and some Fridays we usually have like off almost like from games, but we'll still practice like
They're
just
like
play.
our rescheduled day though, right?
Yeah, Friday's
Yeah.
mainly the reschedule, and then the weekend, Saturday, Sunday are meant for tournaments if we have any. If not, then Saturday, Sunday will either just be a relaxed day, like a few relaxed days, or we'll just play some casual games, competitive. Nothing too
We
like
play
over.
constantly. Like we're basically like a little family. We're online all the time, always hopping in Discord, just chatting with each other.
I will wait
Almost
to go
practice.
home from work just to hop in a Discord server if I see them in another one, just to talk to them about how my day went.
That's great. I'm sure that just helps, everybody in the
Yeah.
program just be better. Have you guys been a part of like teams in the past where this wasn't a thing, or is this kind of how you guys kind of got thrown into the fire with competitive esports?
For me, I just started coaching last year, and it was just
Mhm.
boom. Like here you go. Here's
Yeah.
here's the guy. Here's the group, and do what you got to do. And it's just kind of been like the community and like the kind of like our little culture that I've been building together with my players. Obviously, I got a
Yeah.
great group of players too, so
Yeah.
it's been easy. I haven't really had anybody. They haven't had any problems with each other, which has been like the best. Like it's been the saving of my life
Mhm.
because it wasn't stressed me out or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just we built a little community. I made my own Discord server, and we've like only brought in people that have been positive and supporting the guys. And we have some
Yeah.
people to help us practice. We scrim maybe like once or twice a week if we can find them, but we play so many matches this year that we get the amount of experience that we need just from those.
So really quick, I'll hop in and just ask, following up on that. When you're recruiting new members to your team, how obviously the gameplay and the skill is extremely important, but you guys mentioned how much the community means and the family type of relationship you guys all have together is so important for your team at Lackawanna. How important is that also when it comes to recruiting new members at the start of each semester?
Oh, that's huge. I can't really speak to like a firsthand view of recruiting because uh, Teddy, my director, kind of does that behind the scenes, and he doesn't really talk to me about it too much. But when he gets somebody that he thinks is serious about joining the college, we just pull him right into the family. Like, invite him to the Discord server, ask him questions, try and get him to play with us. We just want them to feel comfortable and at home when they're around our team. That way, everything's gonna be nice and smooth, and we don't really like people who are really too full of themselves, or like who want to show that they're the best maybe on the team or something, because this is a team game, right? So we're all trying to make each other look really good, and that's what these guys do for each other. They're constantly passing the ball to each other, putting each other in really great positions, and you can see just from like the gameplay you guys saw just over that weekend that it was great to see. I was just excited watching them. I was like, wow, they're really playing the way I really want them to play. I always think of like Spain in soccer, like the way that they pass the ball around and they just kind of move the ball around the field. It's just like they're starting to like really bring that into the game of Rocket League. So it's love to see it.
All right. I mean, they were definitely playing the way you wanted to see, but you guys got that Monster Energy prize pack for the win too. Can you give us a little sneak peek what was in that real life loot box to the extent you can?
Did you guys get it?
We did not get it yet.
Currently
Okay.
not yet. I'm pretty sure
We're
it's
still
still
waiting
on the
on that.
way.
Yeah. So
It was like
hoping
it was a
it's in there.
backpack and a hat
yeah.
and some nice other stuff. I
Well,
think
we'll
like
be
a
looking
face
forward to
mask
that.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Hopefully you guys
excited.
to tweet that out. And I actually was going to ask you, speaking of tweeting it out, you guys have one of the most visually appealing and consistent social media pages in college esports, I believe. You guys have a great social media page on Twitter, I saw specifically. Is this just like something that you guys, have an impact on? Like, what is this like? Why did you guys decide to put so much emphasis on creating such a prominent and well-made social media platform for your college?
I think Keenan can talk to that the best. He's really involved in it.
I think I've only been the most involved because our administrator wants to push everything on social media so people are going to see it, because without that, how are people going to realize, Lackawanna has esports? And after I saw the production, a man by the name of Chris Hughes does all of the like the loading screens for the streams and whatnot. So it's not just us and the players, but it's also the administration behind it backs that up as well, because we want to grow.
So, Keenan, let me ask you this, and I'm sure Daniel, you Coach Diggs, you'll be able to hop in on it a little bit, but you're a junior now, you've been around the program for a little bit longer. What does a win like this, like a win at the GamerCon against some of your peers in the community, so this kind of like dominating performance, winning 12-0, what kind of impact does that have overall for your program, your standing within the community, how other people view your program? Like, what does this do for your Lackawanna team?
I think it makes it look strong and dedicated. So if there's any time that we need to, if someone ever looks up the esports program, be like, hey, well, how are they doing? They can see, even if when I'm out of the college sooner or later, they're going to see, well, they did start here. And the beginning of semesters, we didn't, like the Rocket League team didn't play much. And then we ended up winning so dominantly. So I think it's going to make us look good.
Yeah, Keenan, how did your first year go compared to this year? Like, could you maybe talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I was Platinum 3, nowhere close to even the champ range, and the team was definitely more neglected because it was still building upon itself that this is esports and this is what we have to do. And we didn't have a coach and we didn't get to go on many games. So from the start to now, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Right. So I was wondering, guys, if you could talk to me about, and obviously, yeah, Frank, it's not just me, but talk to how that process was rewarding for you guys and how that like encouraged you guys to move the program forward. Being able to see that growth on the early stages, do you guys see that continuing into the future?
I mean, I really hope so. I'm a little nervous about next year because I'm going to be losing these two guys. So Hopefully we can really find some good talent coming from the high school scene that'll be interested in the program. I think the biggest thing that drew maybe say Matt to our program is just our sense of community, and that he really like connected with mostly these two guys over here. I mean, he might have liked me too, just because we are always chatting. We're always chatting. But I don't know. What do you guys think? How about you, Dom?
I mean, I think that it'll definitely be good for future years. I don't know what to say yet. Other than that.
Hey, so Dom's moving on to he's transferring to another college next year, right?
I'll be after the spring semester. I'll be out of Lackawanna, and that's kind of sad to me, honestly. Like I'm gonna miss it. Like having Keenan and Matt here. It's just like such a nice little community here, like a little family, and it's just gonna be sad to see it go one day. Like have to.
Don't
leave.
worry, I won't kick you out of the server. You can still hang
Oh,
around.
I know. I'll be joining all the time. My guys are in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys real quick a little bit about your past, just a little more personal. You guys obviously been around esports now. You're pretty high level competitive players and successful championship winners. How did you get your start in esports? Like, what was the first game you played and the first moment you had that you realized, this is a thing, competitive gaming is a thing, and I can compete at the highest of levels? We can just go around the board. Keenan, we'll start with you.
I bought Rocket League one night, completely bored at my friend's house, and I didn't know I was just playing ranked, but I got A rank, and I realized how far I could go up. And then I looked at the game and realized that it was growing and it was going to get bigger because all these players are coming in from who knows where. And I heard like thoughts about esports, so I just stuck with it. And I know I love the game because it's different from anything else I've ever played.
What about you, Dom?
Honestly, I guess the first time ever, like, in a sense, like esports, the first thing like ever real competitive I got into gaming wise was Pokemon. I used to play a lot of competitive Pokemon back when I was like younger in middle school, and I would do that for hours on end every day, like playing on Pokemon Showdown, doing battles. But eventually, I found Rocket League from my soccer friends. They were actually on my high school soccer team. They're the ones who showed me Rocket League, and ever since then, it's just been like, oh, there's a ranking system. I can go up higher and get to the max rank. And then I'm like, there's a pro scene too. Like I can watch these guys play the game at the highest level. And that's what I really want to do one day is just try and play the game at the most competitive level I can.
So can you maybe expand into that in terms of not only having the desire to keep going with Rocket League, having the skill to climb up the ranks, but then also having that team, having the collegiate esports infrastructure to actually be able to go into and succeed in? Like, what did that mean to you to have that program available to you?
Just the fact of having the program there. Like, I remember I originally wasn't going to be going to Lackawanna. I was actually going to be going to another school. And then my brother is the one who introduced me to Lackawanna and thought of, hey, why don't you play esports in college? You're already pretty good at the game, so why not take it farther and get even better? And it was really just like a moment where I'm like, wow, I actually have a chance at doing this because it's so close to my home, and I can literally I could play Rocket League as like a sport almost. And from that point on, it was mainly just like I want to keep getting better and better and just grinding with a team to try and get to the best I can be on in the game.
Hey, Dom. So didn't you have almost like a career-ending injury for soccer?
No, this is after my soccer career. No, I tore my ACL after my I think it was towards the end of my senior year.
Right, right.
But,
Yeah, so you
yeah.
couldn't really play, say, soccer
Yeah.
in college then.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really good thing for him to fall back onto.
Oh, that's great. I can't afford cars, so I play Gran Turismo. I get it. Like, it's totally, I completely understand.
Yeah, let me real quick. You guys mentioned earlier, and you just mentioned there again. You guys were soccer players, and Daniel and Dominic. I heard you guys mention it specifically. Keenan, maybe you as well. If so, hop in. But nevertheless, you guys mentioned you were soccer players, and obviously Rocket League, obviously based off soccer, and it's a video game compared to real life, and a lot of different dynamics involved. But what is the knowledge of being a soccer player your whole life? Kind of how does that transfer over into Rocket League? Like, what really does that have impact on when it comes to being a competitive Rocket League player?
Rotation, without a doubt, rotation.
Positioning.
comes-
Yeah.
Yeah, positioning and rotation. When it comes to soccer, there's a thing known as like it's just called triangle passing. Like you're literally passing the ball in a triangle to keep it away from the other team. And we take that and use that in Rocket League a ton, where whenever we're rotating, we're always trying to maintain that constant triangle so we cover as much of the field as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. And
That's
it
the
always
biggest-
gives you two ways to go with the ball, right? So say you receive the ball, you can either pass it right back to the person who gave it to you, or you can move it down to the other guy. You're kind of always looking at both of your teammates at the same time. So I mean, it's a huge drill when you play soccer. You mostly just get into groups of 3 and you just pass the ball around and then as you get better at it, you can do it while moving. And it's mostly like one touches, just like the ball comes to you, you hit it straight to the other guy, trying to keep it nice, sharp, crisp passes. So we're just basically just bring that right into Rocket League. Just get the ball towards your teammates, right? Because if you keep hitting it to the other team, then now they have the possession, they have the ball, they could get to decide what's going to happen. So the more we keep the ball within our team, and we got Matt, he's a crazy playmaker. Dom does some crazy stuff on the field. I mean, he's just. And then Keenan will just surprise you with a shot top left-hand corner and out of nowhere. So the more we get the ball to each other, the more we're gonna, make each other play better, basically.
Right. I wanted to ask you, this might be a little inside baseball, but in terms of that rotations, because obviously Rocket League, you can go off the walls and even on the ceiling a little bit, adding that verticality, adding that almost extra dimension of where passes can be coming from. Those triangle passes, does that extend onto the wall? Do you guys train how to get those angles going off of not just the flat surface, but also the walls and even the ceiling of the Rocket League maps as well?
Yes, completely.
Yeah, we train it. I think these guys kind of already do that in their own time. I mean, who doesn't love taking the ball off the wall, flying through the air and scoring a goal from it? So we've kind of just taken those things that they've been practicing on their own time, and we've kind of just, instead of going towards the goal, maybe go towards your teammate with it. Just kind of change the angle around, get around the ball, maybe shoot it, pass it back towards the center of the map instead of going for the goal. Right? What do you guys think?
Me and Matt are the ones who do those crazy ceiling plays together.
Yeah, you guys love that.
So
those plays are fun.
So we're gonna wrap it up here, and I want to ask you guys, going forward, where do you see? And I'll ask this specifically for Keenan and Dom. And you guys are still students in school right now. Do you want to continue your career in esports when you leave school? Is this something that you want to pursue as a full-time career? Do you want to work in esports, or not specifically a player? What do you guys see for your future in terms of competitive gaming?
You can go first, Dom.
Currently, right now, I feel like I'm just too behind the curve to even get into the pro Rocket League scene. Like some of the people are insanely good. Like it's the gap in skill has gotten so like the margin's so wide now. But I wouldn't mind eventually like being in a coaching position, like teaching some people, like maybe teaching a high school team, like in my off time. But mainly, I just want to go into the software engineering field.
Yeah.
Just do that, and then esports on the side, like maybe coaching one day.
Mm-hmm.
I completely side with Dom about coaching and having the knowledge because, like he said, that pro scene is just, the gap is crazy. So for me to divulge that much time into it, I would need to have a real push and desire to do it, but I would rather go into what I want to do academically. I want to be a counselor or a therapist. And like he said on the side too, just do Rocket League and whoever needs help with it.
One last question real quick. You guys, you've been competing now. You've had this tournament. You compete every week. Who's your biggest rival, and why do you like going against them so much?
Okay.
That's a lot.
What do you got? Yeah, because I don't really get to feel like the rivalry between the teams, and these guys kind of feel that a little more. So what do you think, Dom?
Is the one team I'm pretty sure it's the South Carolina Gamecocks. We've played them a few times, and whenever we play them, it's always a close series, and we always play really well against them. Keen, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. I feel like that since esports is trying to push such a positive community, that it's really hard to pick out who's gonna be a rival because it usually has a distinct like toxicity to it. So I guess it'd be hard to say who's the rival at this point.
Yeah, sometimes just great competition though does turn competitive rivalries. So we'll just keep on a lookout for those matches between you guys and USC down there in South Carolina.
We heard it first. Lackawanna unrivaled, right? Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love getting these perspectives, getting that inside the community of esports, seeing it build up, and you guys talking about the future, building that community, even rejecting like that notion of toxicity between rivalry. That's such a positive feeling, really projecting a lot of positive energy into the space. And I hope that there's a lot more teams like you guys out there if this scene's going to grow. And I feel like there are, and I know it is going to be. So Frank, how are we going to wrap this one up?
Keenan, Daniel, Dominic, thank you guys for joining us. Everybody, we'll catch you next time on Critical Hits. Have a great day.